Hey guys, Eckhart here with another episode of Star Wars Who Would Win. And up until this point, we've been doing only ship versus ship matchups. Well, today is something completely different. We're looking at two individuals, pitting them head to head, and seeing which one would come out on top. And since it's the very first episode of the new direction for the series, I figured we'd go big, cause some controversy, and take Master Chief and put him against Kylo Ren. Now, typically we will be doing two Star Wars characters, so make sure down in the comments that you leave a note saying who you want to see matched up in next episode. And of course, I will continue doing my ship battles, so make sure you also leave a comment with what you'd like to see there. Before we really get into this matchup though, I'd just like to take a second to go over the poll results for my last couple of videos. A few videos ago we looked at the Borg Cube versus the Death Star, and I predicted that the Death Star would beat one Borg Cube 9.5 times out of 10. Well, you guys agreed. 89% of you, or just over 2,500 of you, thought that the Death Star would come ahead. Just a couple of hours ago, I posted a matchup which saw the Outrider ship of Dash Rendar taking on the Millennium Falcon. I predicted there that the Falcon would win 8 times out of 10. And it seems like, again, you guys agreed with me because 81% of those who voted, or 414 persons, thought the Falcon would come out ahead. Again, it's still early on in voting, so if you want to go make your voice heard, I'll put a link down in the description. If you guys want to vote on today's matchup, I put a little annotation in the top right corner that will come up after I've said who I think will win. Make sure to vote there, and also let your thoughts be known in the comments. Alright, so back on to today's matchup. As I do with my Starship versus episodes, I'm going to take these two combatants and put them head to head in several categories. The first is offensive capability, so how well one character is able to inflict damage on the other one. The second is defensive capabilities, how well a character is able to protect themselves from damage. Then finally we have intangibles, and this will just be everything not captured by the prior two categories, so things like experience, speed, and when I'm looking at two Jedi, probably I'll have a dedicated force powers category. But we're looking at this matchup overall, so just because a character wins two categories doesn't necessarily mean that they'll win in the end. I have a couple of other quick rules. The first is that this is a one-on-one battle, so even if a character was normally part of a squad or a team, it's just them, no backup. Secondly, the characters here will get their normal equipment. So Master Chief will get his Halo 5 armor along with a pistol and an assault rifle, and Kylo Ren will get his normal garb, his lightsaber, and of course his force powers. For the purposes of this matchup, Master Chief will not have Cortana. Also, because this is a Force user versus a non-Force user, I'm going to have 2 rounds. In the first round, Kylo will have access to all of his Force powers, and he can use them to his best advantage. In the second round, Kylo cannot directly touch or affect Master Chief with his abilities. So he can't ragdoll him, he can't use Force pull, nothing like that. Alright, so we'll start with offensive capabilities, and we'll start with Master Chief. And I just want to say that Chief is an absolute beast. In armor, which Chief will be in this battle, he's over 7 feet tall and weighs over 1,000 pounds. As a child, he was abducted into the Spartan 2 program and heavily trained and augmented. And his physical attributes are further increased through the use of the Mjolnir armor. So even before Chief's augmentation, at the age of 14, he was a peak human. After his augmentation, he easily fought off 4 ODSTs at the age of 14, killing 2 of them and severely injuring the others. In his current armor and at his current age, he can probably run over 60 kilometers an hour, lift almost 2,000 pounds, and react to anything in milliseconds. On top of all that, Chief also has decades of fighting experience and pretty much single-handedly won the Human Covenant War. Along with his physical attributes and his armor, Chief will also have 2 weapons during this battle, the M65 Magnum and the MA5D Assault Rifle. The assault rifle can carry 36 rounds at once, while the Magnum can carry 8. Alright, so let's now look at Kylo Ren, and his greatest asset isn't really a weapon, but the Force. Kylo is able to move people effortlessly with the Force. He can either hold them in place, pull them towards him, throw them around, just generally dominate non-Force users. On top of that, he's also just generally guided by the Force, and that would really help his reaction times, his speed, and likely his strength. I will say that we haven't seen Kylo perform any purely offensive moves. He's never Force choked someone, though he's pulled someone towards him and choked him with his hand, and he's never used Force Lightning. Although I will say his alter ego Matt, the radar technician, did use Force choke, but we're not going to count that here. On top of that, he also has his lightsaber, which is of course a very simple but elegant weapon. So because this matchup does have 2 rounds, I'm not going to declare a winner for this section as I typically would. I guess you'll just have to wait till the actual matchup to see which character has the better offensive skills. Alright, so let's talk about defense, and this time we'll start first with Kylo Ren. So, as with his offensive capabilities, Kylo's best defensive asset is his use of the Force. Not only does the Force make him a better warrior, as I mentioned earlier, with his increased speed and reaction time, but he has also stopped projectiles with the Force, as we saw in the beginning of The Force Awakens. Kylo's only other real durability feat comes from the end of The Force Awakens when he's shot by that bowcaster. Now, this weapon was shown to utterly decimate opposing stormtroopers, but Kylo takes it in his midsection and is able to keep fighting, although arguably his effectiveness probably was greatly diminished. Let's now talk about Chief, and Chief is extraordinarily durable. I mean, even without his armor, he can take a beating and keep going. In his armor, he's nigh unstoppable. Not only is he protected by just, of course, the armor itself, but he's also shielded. That being said, he is still susceptible to attacks by energy swords, and both in gameplay and in lore, a good shot by an energy sword probably could kill him. And both energy swords and lightsabers seem to use pretty similar technology, with some sort of field containing a plasma blade. I'll leave it at that, and we can talk more once we get into the actual battle. I think I've also covered all of the intangibles up to this point, although of course Master Chief is supposed to be exceptionally lucky. Then again, does luck really exist? We know that at least Obi-Wan doesn't think so. I'll keep it in mind as we go through the battle, but to me that's kind of just saying Master Chief has plot protection for most of the Halo franchise. Anyway, let's get to the actual matchup, and we'll start, of course, with round 1. As a reminder, in this round, Kylo Ren has access to all of his Force powers. And to be honest, I'm going to keep this one pretty short, because I think if Kylo grabs Master Chief with the Force, there's not much Chief can do. I think we see a similar situation in Halo 4 when the Didact grabs Master Chief, although he uses some form of gravity manipulation, not the Force of course, but Chief is left utterly defenseless. Kylo Ren has shown the ability to grab things and hold them in place, whether it's that laser beam or Rey before she's trained with the Force. And there's just nothing to me that suggests that Master Chief would be able to avoid this. He is extremely fast, but I think Kylo should be able to get this move off instantaneously. At that point, Kylo Ren can basically walk up with his lightsaber and chop him in half. And I mean, we've seen that lightsabers can go through metal doors. I assume that they're probably about as strong as an energy sword, so I see no reason why he wouldn't be able to pierce Chief's shields and his armor. If Kylo Ren does have access to more powerful moves like Force Choke, which again I think is speculation at this point, he could just look at Master Chief and Force Choke him through the armor. I mean, we saw Darth Vader was able to do that from a different Star Destroyer, so although Kylo Ren is much less powerful, I still think he would be able to do it. So yes, in round 1 I give it to Kylo Ren, and I give it to Kylo Ren 8 times out of 10. I give Chief that 2 out of 10 chance just because at times Jedi have seemed to be kind of reluctant when using the Force against non-Force sensitive persons. Think, for example, when Kenobi fought Jango Fett, or when he fought General Grievous. So if Kylo Ren is unable to actually grab Chief and stop him, then I think Kylo Ren will be in bigger trouble, but we'll talk about that right now in round 2. So in this round, Kylo has access to some of his Force powers, but is unable to actually affect Chief physically. He can't grab him, he can't choke him, he can't do anything like that. And in my mind, this is much more interesting, because we have Kylo fighting an opponent that he's pretty much completely unprepared for. First, Chief is just much more powerful than Kylo Ren, even without the armor. He's stronger, he's faster, and even with Kylo Ren's precognition due to the Force, I think Chief has faster reaction times. Also, Master Chief has projectile-based weapons. Now, in Star Wars, these were often the tool of bounty hunters tasked with killing Jedi. And this is because when a projectile hits a lightsaber, often it won't be deflected, but it will continue to go through. It'll just be some sort of molten slag. And this can actually still injure a Jedi. I will say, perhaps Kylo Ren can stop these projectiles with the Force, as he did with that laser projectile in Episode 7. Even still, the only way he can actually win the fight is if he gets close to Master Chief, because he has to use his lightsaber. And really, I don't think that's a place that he wants to be. I think Chief will be able to avoid any lightsaber blows by Kylo, while still physically dominating him. Alternatively, he has his weapons, and I believe, even with Kylo's Force abilities, he will be able to shoot him. Kylo's only real chance is to actually get close and get a serious blow against Chief. And Chief is just so fast, I think if he wanted to, he could probably stay away from Kylo Ren. But if he does let him get close, I still think he's got a huge advantage. Kylo's only got 2 real chances. The first is if he somehow manages to use Force Run, gets really close and gets Chief before he's ready. Alternatively, he could try to throw his lightsaber, but I'm not particularly convinced with the effectiveness of that move. Overall, I give this second matchup to Chief, and I give it to him 9 times out of 10. He's too fast, he's too strong, and really the only way Kylo is going to win is if he somehow uses the Force to a degree that we haven't seen yet in the movies. And I mean, I don't think he's going to get lucky, because we know that that's Chief's thing. Anyways guys, let me know what you think of this matchup. Just to kind of summarize, if Kylo Ren has access to all of his force powers, he wins. But if he can't use any of his offensive powers, he loses badly to the Master Chief. Or at least that's what I think. Right now, take a second to vote. I'm going to put 2 little annotations, one for the first round and one for the second round. I'll reveal how you guys voted at the beginning of next video. Also, of course, feel free to voice your opinions in the comments and let me know which matchup you'd like to see next. Next time, and for the next few videos actually, I'm going to be sticking with Star Wars characters only, but I will have cross-franchise matchups again in the future. Anyways, thank you for watching guys. I would love some feedback on this new video format, but of course, as always, I'm just happy to have you guys here. So may the Force be with you, and I'll see you next time.